Hello, and welcome to Biohacking with Brittany. I am so excited that you are joining this week for another episode. I have been dealing with quite a bit of health issues lately, so my posting schedule on all platforms has been quite sporadic. If you've been listening for the last few months, I've been dealing with a hemorrhagic cyst on my right ovary, and I found out about it, I think about a week and a half ago at this point. And I knew something was up because of the symptoms that I was having, and I knew it was something more significant than just ovulation pain or menstrual cramps during your menstrual cycle or anything like that. So anyway, I have other episodes on that and you can go listen to the whole story on it. But I am still, just healing from it and waiting for it to kind of go away. There's not really much that I can actually do, which kind of sucks. I am doing a couple of home remedies, we'll say, and biohacks for sure to support the healing of it. And I am sharing about those on Instagram because I think that's important. But it's one of those things where if you've ever had a cyst, you know exactly what this feels like. Is after it ruptures and breaks, it just naturally disintegrates within the body. And there's a little bit of things you might be able to do to help kind of speed up that process. But really, the body just has to metabolize it and it has to kind of go away on its own. So that's a little tough to kind of wrap your head around. When I was doing my research on it, it basically said it can take up to 2 menstrual cycles for it to fully go away, as in 8 weeks, I guess, having 2 full periods, because I had my period last week. And when you have your period and you're also getting rid of a cyst at the same time, obviously that helps kind of get rid of the tissue and helps flush it out because you're shedding the uterine lining. And so my period last week was definitely heavier than normal. And but I still have pain. And so I think it's still there. I can feel it, unfortunately. So I am hoping at the end of this cycle, it'll be fully gone. And then I have a follow-up ultrasound I have to do in June. So it's a really hard pill to swallow, I guess, handling this type of thing. But there are things that I'm doing to help. And I think if I wasn't as healthy as I am and wasn't doing some of these things, I think the situation would be worse. And I think I think the cysts would probably be bigger, or I would get them more frequently, or I would have more severe symptoms. Now, obviously, there's no way to officially prove that. But when you're talking to the doctors and you have a pretty much clean bill of health, aside from the physical presence of the cyst, then it kind of proves it in itself. And they've said things to me, right? If I was insulin resistant, or if I had too high or low blood pressure, or obesity, those types of things can really, really impact how often you get cysts, how often you deal with the symptoms surrounding them, and even just PCOS and everything that kind of goes along with that as well. Anyway, so that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now, and hoping that it gets better, as it is slowly getting better. And I guess that's all I can really do. And I briefly shared on my Instagram story this home remedy I found because I was doing some research on YouTube, and there's this woman who talks about this. It's a ovarian tonic that she makes. And I'm actually going to make a video about it. It's got apple cider vinegar, garlic, and a citrus fruit. So either orange or a grapefruit. And essentially you just blend it all together and you drink it on an empty stomach for about 2 hours. And she talks about the benefits. And so I'm gonna create a video on that for Instagram, I think, just to help people out. And I think with anything like that, obviously it's not a cure or anything like that, but there are health benefits to apple cider vinegar that can relate to the ovaries. Same with garlic, same with oranges. So I can understand why people make these types of tonics and have these types of elixirs and drinks. And I think that it can help in any type of way. Like you might as well just try it and go for it. So I will share that. So stay tuned for that. So before we dive into this week's episode, I just want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of this week. So first and foremost, AG1. I love AG1 Athletic Greens. I drink this every single day. I have the container that's in my fridge. I take out one scoop and I add it to about like 500 mils of water. And I am currently trying to do a gallon of water a day. So it's really important for me to also get all of the nutrients I need at the same time as doing that. And it also makes it way easier to get in my water when it tastes good and it's got a bunch of stuff in it as well. So I love AG1. I take it every day. I think it's a really good like insurance for your health. Even if you are eating very healthy or if you're not, if you're traveling, anything like that, they have like to-go packets, which are fantastic. So it really, really does cover your bases. And I recommend it for everybody, like everybody. I recommend it to my mom. I was actually just sending her some the other day, just because I think, again, like, why not? You know, you might as well get in as many like minerals and enzymes and coenzymes and vitamins as you can. And then also shout out to Inside Tracker. I have my blood test on Thursday this week, which is exciting because I'm actually doing their new biomarkers. So they now have biomarkers specifically for women, including estradiol, which is a type of estrogen, progesterone, and then they also look at your TSH, and your TSH is one of your thyroid hormones. And so this kind of helps you understand where your health is at. Those three biomarkers are on top of, I think, the other like 42 that they do. So they do a ton. They look at like minerals, vitamin levels, hormone levels, like I said, and really just help you make sense of it. So I love doing Inside Tracker. I do it every 4 months. I think it's phenomenal to have the data. And I also think it's great to be able to compare quarter to quarter how your health is doing. Like that is so much data on yourself. And like as biohackers, I think it's really important to be data informed and make these very informed decisions compared to just guessing on like what supplements you might need and that type of thing. So I love Inside Tracker. They are linked on my website and in the show notes. And I have a discount code Biohacking Brittany. So feel free to use it. Are you tired of feeling out of sync with your body's natural rhythm? Do you struggle with menstrual cycle related issues like fatigue, mood swings, and bloating? If you're looking to optimize your health and well-being, look no further than the Ebb and Flow Cycle Guide. This comprehensive guide is designed to help you better understand and work with your menstrual cycle so you can improve your energy levels, reduce PMS symptoms, and gain a deeper understanding of your body. With in-depth information on each phase of the menstrual cycle, you'll learn how to adjust your diet, exercise routine, and self-care practices to better align with your body's needs. One of the biggest benefits of the Ebb and Flow Cycle Guide is its user-friendly format. The guide is easy to follow and provides clear instructions on how to optimize your health throughout each phase of your cycle. Plus, it's packed with valuable information and insights that you won't find anywhere else. So whether you're a seasoned biohacker or you're just starting out, the Ebb and Flow Cycle Guide is the perfect tool to help you optimize your health and live in harmony with your body's natural rhythm. And with my expertise and guidance, you can trust that you're getting the best information and advice available. So why wait? Head over to biohackingbrittany.com to get your copy of the Ebb and Flow Cycle Guide and start living your best life today. All right. So for today's podcast episode, I am answering some of the most common questions that I get about holistic health and biohacking. This is a bit of a shorter episode, but these are like 5 questions that I get frequently, and they're very intro level based, I would say. I think a lot of people hear the word holistic or they hear the word biohacking and they kind of feel like they don't know what that means. Like, what does that include? What doesn't that include? And now there's so many different ways as well to call these things, like integrative medicine and alternative medicine and complementary medicine. And so people kind of get lost in the nuance of it. And we're going to talk about it. And I'm just going to answer some questions and do some clarifications and really bring us back to the basics. A lot of the time when I have podcast interviews, which are typically come out on Friday every week, we talk about the very, very specific things, like a very, rabbit hole. Like last week, we talked about like cellular senescence, which is like a single hallmark of aging out of like the 12. And so like, it's so minute I guess minute is fine. But sometimes it's really good to like zone out or zoom out and be able to understand health better and understand your health better. So we're going to dive in and I'm going to answer a bunch of your questions. These are questions that I have pulled and kind of reworded a little bit from my Instagram and TikTok page. And yeah, I'm just here to be able to really help and support you. So question number 1, what is holistic health and how does it differ from traditional medicine? So when we're talking in this sense for traditional medicine, it could also mean like Western medicine is how I view that. Some people view traditional medicine as more of Eastern medicine, like more of kind of natural medicine. So traditional medicine in this way refers to more Western medicine. So holistic health is a comprehensive approach to healthcare that considers the whole person, including their physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. It emphasizes the interconnectedness of all aspects of health and wellness and takes into account the root causes of illness rather than just treating the symptoms. Unlike traditional medicine or Western medicine, which often relies on medication and surgery to treat illness, holistic health focuses on natural remedies that support the body's natural healing processes. These therapies may include like acupuncture, chiropractic care, massage, nutrition. Holistic health also encourages self-care practices such as meditation, yoga, and mindfulness techniques to help individuals manage stress and maintain overall well-being. So I think the emphasis here is that holistic is all-encompassing. Like it says, like I was saying, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, like everything that makes you, you, and then also takes the root cause approach to it. So if you're dealing with one symptom, great, but like, why is that symptom kind of happening in the first place? And what can we do about it? And let's figure out how to heal that root cause rather than just suppress the symptom, which a lot of pharmacological drugs do. Surgery tends to do that. And not everything, obviously, not all surgeries, but it can be very symptom sign based. And we really want to look at the root cause and the deeper meaning of why these things are happening. So that means that it requires a lot more time, a lot more effort, sometimes more money for sure, and just a lot more support. So you can have a nutritionist, you can have, some sort of expert in chronic pain or whatever you're dealing with. You have your yoga, you have your meditation, you maybe see a counselor, right? So you're kind of seeing all of these experts in the different areas of holistic health that can support you to become healthier. And this is a very privileged thing to be able to have. And not everybody can afford this or have access to this. And I am very, very well aware of that. I think there are a lot of holistic health practices that are rooted in nature that are free. And I really do try to promote those a lot as well, because I think it is important for biohacking and holistic health to be accessible. So, maybe you aren't in a place where you have access to a bunch of different types of people to support your health, but you do have access to sunshine every day, cold therapy by swimming in the ocean, going for walks in the morning and catching the sunrise, healthier food that's close to you from your farmer's market. Like there's a bunch of things that you can do. Better stress management, better sleep. So I talk a lot about these like every week. So if you have specific questions, obviously you can reach out. Eliminate guesswork from your wellness plan with Inside Tracker. Created by experts from Harvard, MIT, Inside Tracker uses the power of your body's biomarker data to reveal what you need to live healthier longer. You will receive specific nutrition, exercise, supplement, and lifestyle recommendations, which we love, providing insight that goes well beyond what you can get from generic blood work. And since May, which is coming up, is Women's Health Month, Inside Tracker is unveiling an upgraded ultimate plan that includes 3 new hormone markers that are critical to measure during a woman's reproductive and menopausal years. I am so excited about this. I cannot wait to do this. And because it's Women's Health Month, Inside Tracker is not charging for these extra 3 hormone markers. So for a limited time, listeners, if you want 20% off Inside Tracker's new ultimate plan, including estradiol, progesterone, TSH blood markers, you can get that right now. And this is honestly the best time to do it if you have ever been thinking about doing Inside Tracker. With Inside Tracker, you can discover what your body needs and no longer just guess. So visit insidetracker.com/biohackingbrittany and you will get the discount and the 3 extra ones for free. It's also linked on my show notes and on my website. Next question. So how can biohacking improve my overall health and well-being? This is a big question. It's very general. I think that it depends on the symptoms that you're dealing with, on the health concerns and issues that you're dealing with. But there are definitely some general, pieces of advice. Biohacking is the practice of using science and technology to optimize the body and mind's performance. It involves making small changes to your lifestyle and environment to enhance your health. Biohacking can be used to improve energy levels, mental clarity, and physical health, as well as to help prevent chronic diseases. One popular biohacking practice is intermittent fasting, which involves restricting food intake for specific periods of time to promote weight loss, improve insulin sensitivity, and increase longevity. Another popular practice is taking supplements such as probiotics and omega-3 fatty acids to improve gut health and reduce inflammation. Biohacking can also involve optimizing sleep quality, improving posture, and reducing exposure to toxins and harmful substances in the environment. Overall, biohacking aims to help individuals achieve optimal health and well-being by empowering them to take control of their own health. I love that. I think that is so accurate. And I really do try and promote that. So holistic self-care for optimal health is how I define biohacking when people ask me. And holistic self-care, like everything we just talked about. And then again, for optimal health. So like, how do we get to a state where we are at the best, most optimized point that we can be and our best well-being state? And that's tough. And it ebbs and flows, right? Like it really does. Like it's not, oh, now I'm at this optimal state and now I'm going to be here forever. It doesn't work like that. What I have found, just as a side tangent with this, is that I don't know if it's possible necessarily to have every single aspect of your health like optimized at the same time. I personally find that things kind of wane a bit. So for example, like something might be optimized, but something else might be struggling at that time. So for example, I don't know what, I think the first thing that comes to mind right now, I feel like my physical fitness level is really optimized. Like I feel really fit. I don't feel like I'm holding on to any extra weight or anything like that. Like I feel very kind of at the place that I want to be, toned wise, all of that type of thing. However, like I said earlier, I'm also dealing with an ovarian cyst right now. So my menstrual cycle is in a bit of a rough place right now. But before March, for the 6 months prior to that, my menstrual cycle was great and it was optimized and it was super regular and I didn't have any cysts. But then I was also dealing with being overstressed at that time and I had too much on my plate and my mental state wasn't in a good space. So I think with this goal of optimal health, it's like, yeah, let's have the goal be optimal health in all of the different areas in our lives. But I just don't know if it's possible to have it all optimized at the same time. I just think it kind of fluctuates. And I think that's the beauty of it. And that's why we biohack. And that's why we have self-care practices, is to really swap out and use what we need in order to support our struggles and our health at that time. Now, obviously, the more you do day in and day out, the more healthy habits you have, the more health becomes your lifestyle and not just a one-off thing that you do, the less fluctuations there are going to be. So the less, significant dips there's going to be in maybe your mental health, or the less like fluctuations in your weight or your hormones or your skin issues or your thyroid, whatever it is. And I think that's why it's so important to do these habits and really focus on self-care every day. Okay, question 3. Is it safe for women to engage in biohacking practices such as intermittent fasting and taking supplements? So those are just the 2 examples that I used for this. Obviously, there are, like you kind of heard, so many different examples for biohacking. But anyway, yes. So biohacking practices such as intermittent fasting and taking supplements are generally safe for women. But it's also important to consult a healthcare practitioner as needed when you're exploring these avenues. Women who are pregnant, nursing, or have a history of eating disorders or other medical conditions should be especially cautious when considering these types of biohacking practices. A lot of the breastfeeding women and pregnant women in my DMs right now, this is what I'm talking to them about, because so many of them are like, what biohacks can I do? And yeah, I think it's smart to talk to somebody about it and not just kind of like solely make this decision on your own and do your research. When it comes to intermittent fasting, women should be aware that it can affect hormone levels and menstrual cycles and should talk to somebody again. And women who are pregnant or nursing should avoid fasting altogether, as it can affect milk supply and harm fetal development. Regarding supplements, women should be careful not to exceed recommended dosages, of course, and also know that obviously some supplements can interact with medications and cause allergic reactions. And you'll see a lot of that now. There's a lot of education on most supplement websites, so definitely read through that.
My next partner I want to talk about is Athletic Greens. So I take AG1 by Athletic Greens literally every single day. And I first gave AG1 a try when I was traveling to Costa Rica. I really wanted something to support my gut health, boost my energy, keep my immune system in check, and really just support me while I was traveling and not home. I quickly fell in love with it. And now that I'm back in Canada, I still take it every single day. And I take it in the morning before I have any type of coffee. Typically, it's like the first thing I have in the morning. And it makes me feel just fantastic. I feel like I'm starting my day off on the right foot. I feel like I'm covering all of my nutrition needs right from the get-go, which is super important and such a healthier way to start than just having coffee on an empty stomach right away. So I'm just obsessed with taking it. And if you want to take ownership of your health, today is a good time to start. Athletic Greens is giving you a free, 1 year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So those are the same travel packs that I took when I was flying. Go to athleticgreens.com/biohacking with Brittany. That's athleticgreens.com/biohacking with Brittany to check it out today. It's also linked in my show notes and on my website everywhere.
Okay. Question 4. We're kind of like getting a little more niche here with the people who are kind of in my tribe. So can holistic health and biohacking help with hormonal imbalances and menopause symptoms? Obviously, yes. So holistic health and biohacking can definitely be effective for this. Hormonal imbalances can lead to a wide range of health issues, including mood swings, weight gain, and fatigue. Holistic health approaches, such as eating a healthy diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and protein, can really help balance these hormones. Biohacking practices such as taking supplements such as magnesium and probiotics can aid in digestion and improve mood. Additionally, practicing mindfulness techniques such as yoga and meditation can reduce stress and improve overall well-being, which can help manage symptoms of hormonal imbalances and menopause. Other biohacking practices such as getting regular exercise, optimizing sleep, and reducing exposure to toxins in the environment can also help manage hormonal imbalances and menopause symptoms. For example, exercise can help maintain bone density and reduce the risk of osteoporosis, which is a common concern for women going through menopause. So obviously there's a lot here that we can talk about, but I really do think it can help. And so much of this is in my ebb and flow cycle guide. If you're looking to balance your hormones, if you're looking to optimize your menstrual cycle at all, really go and get that guide, because I'm not going to talk more about it, but like there's so much of this in there. It tells you what supplements to take and when, what you should eat for your cycle for optimizing your hormones, and has like 32 recipes, and it's just all done for you. So it's a really, really helpful resource to have to refer back to time and time again when different things kind of happen with your hormones. So maybe you get like a flare in PMS symptoms, maybe you get a flare in PCOS symptoms, or maybe like your cycle becomes irregular, or you are trying to get pregnant, or these different things. Like it's one of those things that I think it's really helpful to have. And it's also just really good to understand our hormones and our cycle. Like I think there's a lot of miscommunication and a misinformation about how the cycle works and what each phase means. So the more we understand about the phases, the better we can optimize them. And obviously you can get that on my website. And last but not least, one of my favorite questions that I love to answer, and that I am very deep in right now in the research, is can holistic health and biohacking help with fertility and fertility issues? So yes, it can definitely help. Holistic health approaches such as acupuncture and chiropractic care can help balance hormones and improve blood flow to the reproductive organs. Nutrition and supplements can also play a role in supporting reproductive health. For example, consuming foods rich in folate, iron, and vitamin C can help improve fertility. Additionally, taking supplements such as omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, CoQ10 can help improve fertility, increase the chances of conception. Biohacking practices such as optimizing sleep and reducing exposure to toxins in the environment can also help support reproductive health. For example, getting adequate sleep can help regulate hormone levels, while avoiding exposure to harmful chemicals and pollutants can help protect reproductive organs from damage. Overall, holistic health and biohacking can be effective approaches for addressing fertility issues and improving reproductive health. However, it's important to talk to somebody about your individual needs. So definitely, I think that there's a massive role that holistic health and biohacking can play in fertility, preconception, pregnancy, everything like that. And nutrition is massive, like I talked about. Also supplements. I have my supplement stack now for my preconception period that I'm in. I just ordered a bunch from a company called Needed, and I actually have an affiliate link for them if you ever want to take a look. Their website, I think, is like thisisneeded.com. My discount code is Biohacking Brittany in capitals, and it's 20% off. But anyway, I just ordered a bunch of their supplements, and let me tell you, they're not cheap. So seriously, use whatever discount code you can get. But they are the best of the best on the market. And I'm still waiting. I live in Canada, so it's a little harder to get. It takes time to get here. I ordered, I think, 2 weeks ago, and I'm still waiting for them. But I ordered everything that I think, and from my own research, is needed for optimal preconception health. And I will be sharing my stack of supplements specifically for that in an upcoming episode. Mostly like once they arrive and I can kind of check them all off the list and make sure they're all good. But it definitely includes some of these that I just talked about, like omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, of course. I already take both of those. CoQ10 is needed for the mitochondria and the ovaries. The ovaries are the most mitochondria dense organs in the entire human body, men and women. There's about 100,000 mitochondria per cell in the ovaries. And CoQ10, specifically ubiquinol, is very, very helpful for that. And really, really, there's a lot of research on it. And that's why if you go to try and buy ubiquinol, the form of CoQ10 that is really helpful, it's really expensive. So I'm going on such a side tangent here. Stay tuned for that episode. I'll dig way more into it and provide way more info. But these types of biohacking practices, like a supplement stack and holistic health practices like nutrition, acupuncture, chiropractic care, sleep, managing toxins, stress management, all of these things really do play a big part into it. And I just think it's so, so important. This has always been my passion, is like child health. And therefore it's kind of just extended into pregnancy and preconception and fertility. I've always, 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 always loved working with kids and knew that that would kind of come into my business at one point. And now that this is where I'm at on my own health journey, it's very, very intriguing to me. So much so that I am actually looking at different programs this year to go back to school and actually study this. So if anyone listening knows of a program that you recommend, I am on the hunt for something. Just a quick note about that is like, it has to be online. I have to be able to do it from anywhere in the world. I won't do anything in person anymore because it just invades my like freedom. So it has to be online. It has to be holistic in nature. So either like integrative medicine, functional medicine, holistic health, anything along those terms. And ideally is women's health focused. So on the weekend, I was looking at doing a master's in integrative health. There's different universities in the States that offer that online. But the thing is like, as great as I think those programs are, I really only want to study it if it's applicable to women's health. Like, I don't want to waste my time getting a general degree. I want to get something that is specific to women. Anyway, so I'm trying to find something right now. I don't think I've found my thing yet, but I am on the hunt for it, hopefully to add more education to my belt this year. So if you know of something, please let me know. And yeah, those are my 5 like very common questions I get. They're very general. I wanted to keep it general and really provide an overview for you on holistic health and biohacking, especially for women, hormonal imbalances, menopause, everything like that, because I think it's so important that we just have more and more education out there about this. So stay tuned for another episode coming this week, this Friday, where I do an interview. I do an interview every Friday that comes out, and every Tuesday typically is a personal episode or a question and answer episode. And if you're not already, please follow me on Instagram at Biohacking Brittany. I think we're at 36,000 now, which is great. And I'm also on TikTok and I'm on YouTube and I'm everywhere, like I said. And again, if you want to check out my menstrual cycle guide, you can do so. It's available on my website. Thanks for listening to another episode of Biohacking with Brittany. If you're interested in finding the show notes or the sponsors for this episode, you can do so on my website, which is biohackingbrittany.com. Remember to follow me on Instagram, where I'm most active. My handle is at biohackingbrittany. And if you're interested in working together and you want to email me directly, you can do that. My email is info@biohackingbrittany.com. And I look forward to hearing from you and having you tune in next week.